Well, it finally arrived, what I've been waiting for. And I've been wanting to get back into TIG welding because I've done MIG welding, stick welding, brazing, soldering, and now I haven't touched a TIG welder since college and going to HVAC school, and where welding was mandatory. And we had to take, I think, an 8-week course in welding when we were there back in high school and back at Laney College. And so, yeah, so I've been wanting to get into aluminum now and some copper welding. So I picked this up. I wanted to make some of my own fittings. And there's an unusual thing going on right now. With the shortage of materials, I'm seeing cars having small aluminum lines the size of a pencil or a pen hold up a vehicle from being put back together or delivered, and they're being told 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks for a simple aluminum line that could be cut, spliced, and repaired. And I'm thinking about that. I used to do metal line repairs and make up hoses for air conditioning, but I stopped doing it because the cheap guys in town would do it so cheap it wasn't even worth me doing it anymore. So I gave up doing refrigerant line makeup and hose makeup because of the cheap guys. Well, guess what? The cheap guys are out of business. They cheat themselves out of business. And I have no more competition. All the cheap guys are dead. Because why? They're cheap. That's what happens to cheap guys. You only can screw people over so long before everybody puts you out of business. Sometimes. There's some places that are in business. So this is definitely a look at the protection. This box was in excellent condition. There's nothing banged around on it. This just drove across the country. I'm here in San Francisco, and this came from the East Coast. This is Prime Weld TIG welder. And this is what we got here. Turn it around. This is a hefty guy. I don't remember if they say it's 75 pounds or not. Oh, yeah, there goes my automatic. Why did he just go off? That's my robo thing. Shut off. And yeah, that'll do it. And I got the water cool option for the torch. So I got the water chiller, and I got the 2 TIG torches, and I got the one that's water cooled. So this will take care of my stainless steel needs, aluminum, titanium, anything I want to do. And that'll do it. Oh, what else did they ship? I forgot about this. So this company had some of the absolute highest satisfied customers and welding reviewers from guys who don't even sell this stuff. They didn't even have, some of them don't even have links to this stuff. They don't care about selling it. But out of the guys who are really renowned in the welding industry, I gave this thing a review, and they were actually very surprised. And why do I feel like I'm trying to figure out how to open a Chinese jigsaw puzzle? There we go. Now, CK Worldwide, you don't get some cheap piece of crap. And like they say, this is your 220 to 110. They say you could do 110, but I won't be doing a 110. My workshop out here, I wired it up for 240 for all the heavy work equipment. You got your consumables there. So you do your controller. That's the water cooled handle assembly. So this has chilled water going through it. So when you're doing your high amperage cut, you could keep on welding without burning up the handle. And there's just your regular plain Jane little guy. not water chilled, just with argon only. Okay, this one doesn't have a handle in it. Now I'm gonna have fun because I'm putting a bigger rack on my vehicle. Now, if you guys seen my work vehicle I use for work, I have a rather large rack on top of my vehicle because I do some commercial too, and I don't believe in wasting gas and polluting the air using a big old giant van or SUV or pickup truck with a huge Cummins diesel or anything like that spewing fumes up into the air. I'm kind of the tree hugger kind of guy who believes in not wasting products and keeping the car until it has 400,000 miles on it. Well, that's why I got a Toyota, because it's easy to get 400,000 miles out of Toyota. So you get this. This is a welding helmet. So this is a joke. That could go away. For your argon, to your tank, for your stick welding or your ground electrode. That's your ground electrode. This is for your stick welding. So you could do your stick welding. And your foot pedal for controlling your TIG. So we're good to go. I'm looking at some Opal helmets. I have my old welding helmet from back in the oxyacetylene days that the straps are falling apart on, and all the pits are inside my green lens and everything like that. And that's what I used back since I was in high school. And I think I'm going to retire that and upgrade to a new, probably Opal or something like that, and get some of the new modern welding helmets. So that's that. And you don't have to go to the welding supply places and spend a fortune at air gas or anything. I can't remember if I picked these up for $7 or something like that. Some TIG welding gloves, because you don't want to use your big stick welding or oxyacetylene gloves, because you need something that forms to your fingers so you can handle the delicate little torch. And for your stick welding, get a whole bunch of stick weld, and more your TIG. These things are for your oh shit, what the name of that? Not titanium, tungsten. Your tungsten rods for laying your arc. eBay had the absolute best price. Go down to if you go down to your local weld shop, supply house, you'll pay 3 times more for the same thing. Don't buy the big brand names. If it has Lincoln or Miller on it, stay clear away from anything that is branded with a big brand name on it. Definitely get ripped off price wise, because they're all the same crap that comes from China, and they put their little sticker on it. And, so we're good to go here. And don't forget, I like to wear t-shirts all the time. I don't wear long sleeves, unfortunately. And you'll very rarely catch me. So you want your sleeves, get cotton. Don't wear, when you're welding, don't wear anything polyester or nylon, any synthetic material. Don't wear your pants, don't wear your shirts, anything with a synthetic material, rayon or anything like that, because it melts when something hot's going. Cotton doesn't melt, and cotton barely flames or catches on fire. Protect you from getting your arc flash burn on your skin. And so you put something like this and just pull it up your arms to protect your arms, because I usually never wear sleeves. And your argon regulator. You don't need to be fancy. As long as you flow right, your weld won't know that you don't have a $300 or $400 regulator. You can have a $30 regulator. Now, It is nicer to have a nicer regulator. That's a nice step up. And but here's the thing, when you're nitrogen purging for brazing on doing fittings on ACR, you want a nice regulator. You won't want one of those cheap regulators, because when you turn a regulator way down to the lowest pressure and lowest flow, the diaphragm in the regulator is not steady and doesn't give a steady run. And if you ever watch the little ball surge up and down, and when you turn it way down on the cheap nitrogen flow regulators that you get in your parts refrigeration warehouses, those cheap pieces of crap that they sell, especially by Best or something like that, it'll actually barely flow, and it could turn off on you in the middle of your brazing. While you're in the middle of a section, you're brazing, and you could be up on the roof or up on a unit, and you can't see your regulator turns off too. So get a good quality nitrogen regulator when you're doing purging through a line. Yeah, that's a high recommendation. Get the $100, $100+ regulator for nitrogen when you're purging for brazing. Stay away from the cheap ones. All right, guys, I'll see you. That's it. This will be used for building the 12-foot long lumber rack, tool rack, and it'll have I got the extra cinch downs with like the come along type big straps for throwing over your equipment on top of your roof, and it'll be the full length of my vehicle. And if you see my little vehicle, you know how hilarious that's gonna look, since the vehicle is only 12 feet long and a lumber rack off a big van is 12 feet long. That's what's going on my little Prius C. Alright guys, I'll see you. New toys. My girl always gets pissed off at me when I buy new toys. Don't understand it. They just don't understand. Women just don't understand. Alright guys, see ya.